pyramids are buildings resembling the shape of a pyramid. In the history of the construction of the pyramid used long ago, the ancient Egyptians and Mayans were known to use pyramid buildings as tombs for ancient kings, as well as a place of worship or worship. Apart from being alleged as a place to store food since ancient times, when preparing for a famine, or as a place for storing treasures. Various analyses of the use of pyramid construction. Some call it a UFO heritage building on the grounds that a pyramid-like building was found on Mars, which is on the same latitude as the degree latitude on Earth. Some say it is a relic of the civilization of Atlantis, and some say that pyramid construction was used on the grounds that in past civilizations, humans had difficulty making dome constructions. Therefore, a pyramid construction is used to simplify. The construction of the dome itself was only used during the Roman period, with the construction of arches on concrete buildings, and the East Romans in the kingdom of the pharaoh the prophet Musa lived. In the history of the construction of the pyramid used long ago, buildings, the ancient Egyptians and Mayans were known to use pyramid buildings as the tombs of ancient kings, as well as a place of worship or worship. In addition to allegations that they were a place to store food since the time when they were preparing to face a famine, or a place to store treasures. Since the 6th century BC, Egypt was the refuge for the Pashi kingdom, which lost its position after standing for more than 2,000 years, receiving power from outside, namely the Greek, Roman, Hindu kingdoms and the powers of other nations. During this time, many of the famous works of the pharaonic era were destroyed. The script and religious beliefs of the Egyptian people themselves were gradually replaced by other cultures, so that the ancient Egyptian culture receded and was destroyed. Later generations also lost many remains that could decipher the clues left by the predecessor. In 450 BC, after a Greek historian traveling around and arriving in Egypt, put an inscription, Cheops, or the Greek Khufu script, it is said, disintegrated after 50 years. Within certain limits, the Greek historian uses the phrase, "It is said that he said," meaning that the truth needs to be proven again. However, since then the opinion of Greek historians has been cited by later generations as important evidence that the pyramids were built during the 4th royal dynasty. During this time, historians assume that the pyramid is the tomb of the king. Thus, when talking about pyramids, what comes to mind without realizing it is jewelry and glittering items. And, in 820 meters, when the Governor-General of Islamic Cairo Caliph al-Mamun is commanding troops, first dig a secret passageway and into the pyramid, and went it impatiently into the room, a view which looks only made him very disappointed. Not only was there not a single object normally buried with a corpse, such as pearls or carvings, not even a piece of broken glass was missing, there was only an empty stone coffin with no lid. Meanwhile, the wall is just a clean blank area. There is not the slightest carving of writing. The conclusion of historians about the feat of first entering the pyramid is experiencing robbery of objects in the tomb. However, the results of real investigations show the possibility of tomb thieves entering the pyramids by other means is very small. Under normal conditions, it would also be impossible for a tomb thief to steal without leaving a trace, and even less likely to erase the entire pharaonic inscription depicted on the wall, compared to other tombs which are generally filled with jewels and abundant treasures. The giant pyramid built to commemorate the majesty of the pharaoh king is very different. In addition, in the inventory stela record kept in the Cairo Museum, it has been mentioned that the pyramids existed from the beginning before Khufu succeeded the royal throne. However, because the inscriptions on the stone tablets vehemently challenged traditional views, there were problems between the research results of experts and the way the books were written, further harshly criticizing the value of the research. In fact, within the limitations of historical records that can be obtained, if due to certain views, then putting aside some historical evidence, This has unknowingly hindered us objectively in looking at the actual historical position. Thank you for watching. Hopefully a little information in this video can add to your insight. See you in the next video.